Okay, YouTube family. So it's like this. The 17-year-old shooter, this guy had a lot of situations going on before the death of PnB Rock ever even occurred. So this is a clear case of lawsuits could get applied, or a lot of resignations, man, because what they're saying now, the 17-year-old shooter suspects, the whole time Los Angeles Police Department said the teen was out on parole or probation at the time of shooting. That's what they want, and we're gonna go deeper into this. I need y'all to do me one favor right quick. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Thank you for rocking out with I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Make sure you get informative news and you don't miss nothing by also sharing this video with that notification bell, and comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Now, we know the unfortunate death of PnB Rock occurred. A teenage boy and a woman, Chantel Trone, the stepmother, were in custody in the slaying of PnB Rock, who was gunned down 2 weeks ago at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And unfortunately with that, authorities are searching for a third suspect who was identified as the boy's father, who they described as armed and dangerous, which we coined the phrase Dirty Freddy, armed and dirty. You know what I mean? LAPD Captain Kelly Munez said a federal task force arrested 2 people Tuesday in Rock's Lane. A minor was arrested on suspicion of murder in Lawndale, and that minor was a 17-year-old. They're saying he has a lengthy a criminal record where he's not new to this. He's true to this. So this was not a kid washed up in the madness of adults, washed up in a circle of a state where he was not aware to what was going on. This is not a situation where they can cry that he wasn't developed properly in the brain. He didn't know what he was doing. You know, the typical. This is a situation where there was a mastermind. We're going to talk about the mastermind of this on a separate video for what I got and what people sent out and our own little investigation. These are theoretical hypothesis. You know, this is not something guaranteed that who's the mastermind we're gonna do about it, but we're definitely gonna do the mastermind video. But let's get back to the 17-year-old shooter. Now, this 17-year-old shooter, they don't want to give his name, they don't want to give his face, simply for the fact California has restrictions and rules. If you're under the age of 18, those informations can't be given out. Now, different states, different rules applies. But this guy, a lot of people were hitting us up and they were telling us they know them just based on who the dad was. They didn't show a picture of the stepmom at all yet, and there's a reason behind that. Remember, separate video, mastermind, we're going to talk about it. But here, the 17-year-old dude is actually being saved as far as people hiding his face, because we already know what's going on with the situation. We know what the streets of South Central LA is. A lot of dudes can be bought and hired, meaning, oh, I need this person to be eliminated. I need allegedly too. So there's a lot of people was hitting up yesterday. They know this dude. We asked for certain information I don't want to say on YouTube, but it wasn't granted, it wasn't given. So maybe these people was doing cap. But one person seemed very familiar with him and said he had a notorious history of this. This dude, if you look, you'll see a lot of domino effects fall when you put the last name of Tron. Now, I'm thinking this was an exaggeration, and out of nowhere, we wake up in the morning, you got the police saying that this dude was on probation or parole. He had just got out, early release or whatever, and he went right back into it. I don't even think it was 2 weeks they were saying, and he jumped right back into the mix of things. So was this bad parenting? Was this a failed situation, or what Negroes love to say? Was this a systematic system failure that caused them to do this? And I'm not saying none of the above, man. You have to be accountable for your actions. Systematic oppression is very real, but at the same time, when you use that as a scapegoat for whatever situations you keep getting into, it becomes a sort of pattern. It becomes a virus that needs to be eradicated out the community based on the way we think, the excuses we make for folks like this. Because 17 or not, other counties, other cities, other states, other countries and nations, nobody feels bad for the 17-year-old. So in this case, I'm just trying to highlight, if it's found out the pivotal role that this 17-year-old played, being the shooter, being the one to shoot, what's going on with it? What is going to be the domino effect? We know about the father. We know about Dirty Freddy being in the situations he is. He's being deemed as a killer nonetheless, whether he pulled the trigger or not, just for the age, the grown manners, and grown situation he's in. Somebody was trying to send me his criminal record the other day, and I told them no thank you. For the 17-year-old boy, it would make sense to send us that. But for a grown man like Dirty Freddy, I can imagine what type of charges he has already. I didn't waste my time. I told that person, we don't need it. You can keep it wherever you have it. I know guys like this my whole life. They're looking at you. They're blaming you for the circumstances they're in. And it just becomes the blame game over and over again. Then they have a string of cheerleaders who are grown men who start enabling this type of gentleman to continue doing the things they're doing, and nobody calls it out because we're in a business where we're trying to be cool, we're trying to be popular, we're trying to be sheeps and fit amongst the other sheeps in the crew, because they like to call themselves wolves, but wolves typically roam in a pack of people they could trust. They roam in a pack of loyalty. They roam in a pack of, we're not just going to be doing things to do it. They do things based on survival needs. These guys, they're doing things based on, what can I get away with? What can I exude my strength and my, evilness on? So the 17-year-old dude being out on probation or parole, I'm not going to lie to y'all, for me it was somewhat surprising, but not really surprising. It was not really surprising because you see a lot of folks even younger than that on parole, on type of papers, doing these things. But it was surprising in this case because I just felt like it was a young dude, was no excuse for his age, but the dad forced him to string along. But when you read more into it and he was the actual shooter or whatnot, and all the hoopalas, it made sense for why this should have been deemed as a nightmare, a tragedy. Lost a rapper, whether he was a great artist or not, you lost someone senselessly. That was Rakim. Charleston White like to say, forget about saying their rapper names. He is correct, because when you say their actual names, you look at them more than just some rapper who died. It could have been your brother, it could have been your friend, could have been your dad, your uncle. And it hits home, and it hits weights close to home. A lot of us, including me, we've lost family members to gun violence, and we never get over it. You go to sleep, you have the nightmares, and you might forget about it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but out of nowhere it comes right back. So these people devastated an entire family, legacy, a neighborhood, community. They cause disruption amongst a lot of people. There's no positivity that can come out this except for an eye for an eye. Look, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Make sure you guys hit the like button, you hit the notification bell, and you come rock out with us, and you do what you got to do as far as the energy in the air to stay positive. Man, love your family, love your kids. Stay blessed.